So welcome back. Now this is the meditation time. Now we have just reflected on the virtues of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha and chanting, so the loving kindness chanting called the Metta Sutta, and also Bojjhanga Paritta. And we've been chanting this Bojjhanga Paritta in particular that to dedicate most venerable Jnana Purnika, the Sanghanayaka of Nepal, who is not well at the moment, and also dedicating this to all members of the community and everyone who are affected and not well. Now this is time to reflect upon ourselves. Those who have been following every night probably realized that every night there will be extra few things to adding up in a practice. And I hope that you've been practicing and seeing those changes in your day-to-day life as well. So simply sitting comfortably, bringing your mind and heart to the moment, here and now, and relax. And relaxing the entire body is very important, but again, sometimes it's very difficult to relax. So all what you can do is let the cushion or the chair or the couch hold yourself. Do not hold your body, do not hold your shoulders. Let the couch or cushion holds you. But you are sitting upright. And as you are sitting upright, rather than thinking about the breath or about the object, feel from your heart, feel from inside the body movements taking place due to the breathing in and out. So incoming breath and outgoing breath, you're aware of a movement that is taking place in your body. And as you feel the movements, if there is any tension that you can observe and detect, and let them relax by moving a little bit. And as you feel the breath from your inside, feeling from your body, you see the whole body expands and contracts. Even watching the breath, Buddha didn't say that we are focusing on one particular place. There are so many ways. In satipatthana alone, there are 16 to 17 ways of watching the breath. Long breath, short breath, short coming, long coming, short going, long going. And further up, Buddha even instructed us, Ru, or the breath, outside breath, inside breath, inside and outside breath, the arising of breath, vanishing or fading away of the breath, arising and fading away of the breath. And then further on, the instruction given by the Buddha in the practice of a breathing meditation is Atthikayo va panassa satipatthana hoti. Whichever the breath was or is, functioning in whichever ways, be mindful of that breath. Atthikayo va, which simply means the breath as it is taking place. So aware of that breath. So there are so many ways of observing the breath alone. So do not hold on to the perception that we always have to pay attention to the nostrils to begin with. We always have to follow the instructions. But the Buddha gave that instructions from the satipatthana or even anapanasati. And these breaths, along with this body, we can observe it. We can experience it when our body fully relaxes. There is no tension and complete in a position that is sitting upright. Ajjatta va kaye kayanupassi viharati. So breath that is outside of our body, he knows that. Pahitava, ajjatta pahita, inside and outside, he knows this body, this breath. When it arises, he knows. When it vanishes, he knows. And arising and vanishing, again, the breath vanishing, arising and vanishing. Aware of that, being mindful of that. Sometimes awareness of the breathing in and breathing out. In between is arising and vanishing are different. Before arising, vanishing takes longer. Before vanishing, sometimes arising takes longer. There is a circle going on. And sometimes we do not feel the breath at all. We do not see the breath inside or outside. At that moment, Buddha instructed us to be aware and to be mindful as it is. Atthikayo va panassa satipatthana. The way the breath is, simply be mindful of it. It's like a guard who's watching people coming in and going out. His concentration is simply in line with the gate. Whoever comes in, whoever goes out. He's not following that he is handsome, she is beautiful. The very moment if he is following a person that he is handsome or he is beautiful, he is not aware of other people who is entering through the gate. So practice of a mindfulness breathing, we have to be like a very good gatekeeper. Ability to watch everything that happens, everything that takes place. With ardent practice, ardently practicing. So whichever ways you can feel the breath in your body, aware of that, conscious of that. And having a clear consciousness about it. And being mindful of whatever ways you are having this breath. Simply be mindful as they are. So continue practicing, aware of the breath. Again, not thinking of the breath in anywhere else, simply as you take a breath in and breathe out, wherever you feel it, whichever ways you feel it. In breath and out breath is never the same. The feeling never be the same. When breathing, sometimes you may feel cool. When breathe out, sometimes you may feel heat. Another time you may not feeling anything. Sometimes breathing in, you feel the expansion of entire body. Other time you do not feel at all. Other time you do not feel breathing in, but you observe the breathing out. Sometimes you observe the rising as breathe in, and sometimes you feel nothing. Sometimes you feel breathing out in your chest, other time you may feel in your stomach falling. So whichever ways you can feel the breath in your body, simply be mindful of it. Sometimes you may feel the breathe just outside of the nose, but not inside in your body. Sometimes you feel inside your body but not in the outside. Sometimes the body is creating to have a breathing, other time just silent. Sometimes sharp, sometimes shallow. Sometimes the breath goes entirely, the end of the breath up to the abdomen, other time not. So whichever ways the breath is, simply aware of that. So continue practicing for another couple of minutes before we start loving kindness practice. So let's practice loving kindness meditation. So relax yourself. And aware of your entire body. And to your hands, aware of sensations in your hands. And to your heart, feel the beating heart. If you can't feel the beating heart, physically smiling will connect you. So smile and feel the connection with your heart and generating loving kindness and compassion towards yourself. May I be well, may I be happy, may I be at peace. And similarly, any particular person, if you want to dedicate especially, then you bring into your mind and share this loving kindness and compassion towards that particular person or the thing. May you be happy, may you be at peace, may you be well, may you be free from suffering. Whatever merit that I have accumulated, may you rejoice in it, and may this be cause to liberate yourself. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to entire beings in the world, in the entire world. Whatever beings there are, visible and invisible beings in this room, in this city, in this country, on earth, in the universe. May they be well, may they be happy, may they be free from suffering. Whatever merit that I have accumulated on this occasion, may they rejoice. Whatever beings there are in suffer, unhappy, unwell, may they be well and happy and free from sufferings. Whatever beings, those who are already well and happy, their well-being and happiness increase. May they be liberated. So bring that attention to your hands again. Aware of sensations in your hand and to your body. And to your eyes, and as you hear the gong, slowly coming out and reflecting for a moment how peaceful and calm you've become. Tonight's practice. Sarala, Banteju, when you are feeling sensation like pain, can we still do loving kindness at the same time? Well, it's the best way to release yourself first, and only then sending a loving kindness. Okay? But other time the sensation can, and again a sensation, feeling of sensation, that is, if that's a painful feeling that due to you're sitting longer or because you have a chronic pain, and then that you have to disconnect. So this the pain is there, so you just ignore it, and generating this sense of a loving kindness in your heart, and then sharing it. Okay, but the the sensation and loving kindness, this what you are saying, at the same time, in fact, our mind will have one object at a time. There is no two objects at the same time. So our mind always works with one object. So sensation and loving kindness are two different sensations. Okay, so loving kindness is simply the loving thoughts that we created, and that loving thought again based on the seeing the danger in this samsara, and with that wishing that people will come and understand these teachings, so they will be able to end this cycle of a birth and a death. And that's how you generate this loving kindness, boundless loving kindness, and sharing it. So sending this loving thought. That's why the practice of a meditation, the more we practice, our mind should become softer and softer. If our mind become more harder, generating more ego after the practice, then there is something wrong. And the practice of a meditation, the more you generate, the more you practice, and understanding the nature of the suffering of oneself and then to others, and that's how, at that moment, the loving kindness comes from our heart, and it becomes so relevant, it's become so strong and powerful. And that's how, when we send or spread this loving kindness, channeling to a particular person or a group, or regardless of who, what background is, and that goes beyond the borders, across the world, the entire world. So when we are saying entire world in Buddhism, there are saying, the Buddha mentioned of it 10,000, over 10,000 world systems. So that basically means there are 10,000 of these galaxies, over 10,000 of galaxies that Buddha already mentioned. And so that's how the loving kindness should be spread. Okay, so when you have a feeling of a pain, and if possible, just removing, like moving your hand. If you have a pain in your hand, just moving. If you have pain in your leg, just moving a little bit until you feel comfortable, eased off, and then generating this loving thoughts. So that's why when you are having a loving thoughts in your mind, that moment the feeling of a pain should be gone, because there's two different thoughts, two different mindset. Our mind only have one object at a time. Thank you, Sarla. A good question. Right, okay, so we'll see you tomorrow at 6:30 for the talk, and followed by chanting and meditation. If you can't follow the talk and the chanting, I encourage you to come and meditate together at 7:30 for half an hour. In the meantime, if you have any questions to ask or any topics that you want me to speak, please do post me, and in particularly if you are practicing meditation, continuous practicing meditation, then there must be other questions arises, and that's why if you are not asking questions, then there are two things happens. One, you are not practicing, that's why you don't have a question, and the second, you have realized it, so you don't know what to ask. I don't know which group you are in, but anyway, I believe that you have been practicing and getting benefit from these online teachings. So anything, any feedbacks, most welcome. So until then, thank you very much, and keep practicing. May you be safe and take care. May the Buddha bless you. So see you until tomorrow. Good night.